Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to actually focus on one thing in the video again, and I did talk about this in my very ridiculously long one, but I didn't really go into details, and that was about conventions and munches. Two different things that I didn't really go into depth about. In fact, no, I didn't mention munches at all, but I did mention conventions. Well, let's look into this a little bit, shall we? And I'll start with munches. Actually, since that's a little bit different and nobody knows what that means. Well, just what is it? What comes to your mind? I mean, when you think of munch, you think of lunch because it rhymes. I mean, come on, munch lunch. Let's have a lunch munch. Well, that's usually what it is, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was derived from. What it is it's something that you'll typically see on FetLife. And it's usually a FetLife event. And it can be for any type of get-together. People that share a certain interest, and they'll all get together in a public location, which is usually going to be, I mean, it can be a Denny's. I mean, it can be any kind of a restaurant. It can be a bar. It could be a hotel. It could be, it could be an amusement park. It can be anything like that. And these people that come together have an interest. It could be bondage stuff. It could be, I mean, it can literally be anything. It could be, that S&M stuff. And the thing is, adult babies and diaper lovers also have munches. Yes, they do. We have a major website for that, but it's not kept up to date. So the best thing for you to do is actually search FetLife. Because people actually post the events there regularly. Now, the thing is, I live in Pennsylvania, so I can't talk about all the other places that have munches because, it's a big world out there. They're happening everywhere. They're in the UK, there's actually a lot of munches. There's a decent adult baby diaper lover following in UK, which makes me really want to go visit someday, but I'll probably never have the money to do that. And there's also California, and let's face it, in California, it's basically like going to another planet. But out here in Pennsylvania, believe it or not, as strange as it may sound, there's a lot of adult babies and diaper lovers. I'm serious. There are a lot. And it doesn't make sense because Pennsylvania is a pretty stuck-up state. And I mean that. I'm not just making that up. There's a lot of things you can't do around here that you can do in other places, like buying alcohol, for instance. Well, you can't buy alcohol just anywhere. You can't go to, like, there's Walmarts, right, and other places, and you can go and just buy beer and alcohol. Well, guess what? Can't do that here in Pennsylvania. No, no, no. I'm not saying that's a good thing anyways, but just saying that Pennsylvania is a bit uptight. So, my main point that I'm deriving away from is to talk about the munches. So, search FetLife, find a munch, and in Pennsylvania there's the Northeast PA Littles, and they're a group of people that are adult babies, diaper lovers, and they're people that share the same interests. So then you got to say to yourself, okay, what would happen if I go to one of these, like one of these get-togethers? Why would you want to go to one of these get-togethers? These are very important questions to ask yourself, because they're not for everyone. They really aren't for everybody, because you might be uncomfortable with yourself and not ready to move forward. And that sucks, but that's the way it is. Or maybe you are comfortable with yourself and you just don't approve of other people doing this type of stuff, going out and meeting other people. Which, I mean, I think you're being a little silly. You let people do what they want to do, I mean, as long as they're not hurting anyone else. But the bottom line is, ask yourself why. Why do I want to go to this munch, this convention? And your reasons are probably going to be to better learn to accept others and yourself. Because, there are people out there that, hey, they put on diapers and they wear diapers. I mean, you're not the only one. You think you are, but you're not. You're being crazy. There's tons of people out there that are normal people other than this. Yeah, they wear diapers and that's a little crazy, but they go to work and they have jobs. They're not all people that are at home living off of society like you see the wackos on TV because they just want to shock you. They want to make adult babies look bad. They want to, because obviously if someone's a freak, they're into these things, then that means they're a freak. Then that means that they're bad. But it doesn't mean that at all. These people are normal people that go to work, have jobs, and everything. Now, granted, some people are out of work, but that's irrelevant. That's totally different. It's a different thing. Being an adult baby, being a diaper lover, and having your job or not having your job. I mean, it's just they shouldn't be this thing that people lump in and say, well, these people are horrible people and they have diseases and all this. Get that all out. So, anyways, your plan would be to meet someone. Say, you want to meet other people that are like you so that you can, kind of get out there and accept yourself more, because it is hard, really hard, to accept yourself for the way you are, to feel comfortable in your own skin. Believe it or not, some people go their whole lives, rejecting themselves and feeling like they're horrible, and you can't do that. You're not really living your life. You're not. You're only hurting yourself. You're only wasting yourself. So, when you think about going to a munch or a get-together, think about that. Think about what you can get from it. Because you can get so much just by being there, just by being around other people, learning to not judge other people for being different, and learning that, hey, you're not alone. And yes, you can meet people this way. You can meet people that are interesting people besides the fact that they like diapers. So yeah, they like diapers, but they probably also like playing Nintendo games, and they probably like watching Doctor Who. I mean, that's what I'm all about. See, that's why people are getting so confused when they see me, because I'm supposed to be this diaper freak who's just diapers and that's it. I'm not. I'm into so many things. I am so complicated. And that's probably why I'm not popular, because, well, people look at me and they're like, well, I just wanted to see diapers and that's it. Well, I'm sorry. I'm a person. I'm into lots of different things. So you're going to see those other things too. And if it's Zelda, you're going to see Zelda, If it's Doctor Who, you're going to see Doctor Who. I'm sorry. That's how I am. But it also is diapers. I like them too. Get over it. I did. Well, actually, even I struggle with that. That's how hard it is. So, there have been munches in our area. One of them was in Knoebels, which is actually an amusement park, and I haven't gotten to go. I have a friend that actually got to go. And this is a get-together where you are allowed to wear diapers. I mean, you're in a public location, but you can wear them. Now, in that situation, you keep it under your clothes. You don't try to have it visible or anything like that. In fact, things like that are frowned upon. But it's a way of kind of getting out there and sharing yourself, sharing your secret side, getting out of the shadows, out of the darkness, and lifting yourself up into the light so you can feel better, so you can feel more confident and just feel, happier in your life. There's a lot to be gained, but there are some risks. What if someone finds out? Well, that might happen. I can't sugarcoat that. But I think that as long as you really want this getting out there and this meeting people, then it's going to pay off in the end. As long as you're careful and safe, and because you don't make assumptions that you know a person, because you don't know that person. You need to really get to know a person and open up and have them open up to you before you give any trust out there. So it is a little risky. And now, I didn't talk about conventions, but I want to. Yeah, adult baby conventions? They exist. Well, of course they do. All kinds of conventions exist, right? You have Comic-Con, you have the video game conventions, you have all that stuff. Well, guess what? Adult babies actually have conventions too. And there is one coming up for the Northeast PA Littles that I'm going to be going to. We have the TeddyCon. It's called TeddyCon. It's actually almost filled up. It's going to be in Pennsylvania, and I believe the address was in Allentown. It's going to be at a hotel near an airport, and you'll have vendors that get together, special people speaking, and everything. And you will get to, you can go, you have a private area where everyone can get together. There's going to be a ball pit, there's games. I mean, we're talking an actual convention of adults that like to feel little. Now, this probably sounds pretty crazy to you, but it's pretty neat. It's neat that people can get together and be themselves and meet other people that have a similar interest. That's what a convention is about. It's about meeting other people with similar interests. When you go to a comic convention, you go to, see people that like comics, and you can go talk about your favorite comic or whatever. It's that. It's basically a convention for nerds. Here it is. It's Diaper Nerds. So, the other one that I know of that was one of the biggest ones was the Chicago Age Players Convention, and I did mention that before. It sounds kind of like they were put on a show, right? Like the so and so players, they'll put on a show. It's Chicago Age Players Convention, but they do the same kind of thing. They have vendors, they have all kinds of events. But the interesting thing is, this one that's happening in Pennsylvania, it seems like it's giving the Chicago Age Players Convention a run for its money. There's a lot of people going. I mean, I'm going. It's looking to be a pretty big deal, actually. So, I just want to say that, take a look on FetLife, look up Munches, and consider getting yourself out there. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it can really, really help. And it could be just what you need. Maybe it isn't. Like I said, it's not for everybody. So that's about it. Just want to talk, like I said, about conventions and Munches a little bit. And what they can do for you and why. Why would you go? So peace out, you guys, and hope to see you guys around.